Hi, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ash, and we're going to be doing lazyadmin, another tryhackme walkthrough. I hope you're ready for it. Let's get stuck into it. Okay, so let's start off with the room itself. Gonna boot up our VM, and we only have the single task, lazyadmin. Have some fun. There might be multiple ways to get user access. So it says might take 2-3 minutes for the machine to boot up. Otherwise, we've got a user flag and a root flag, and that's it. So make sure that you're on the tryhackme VPN. So we've tunneled, great. Got our IP there. Let's just go put that IP into an environment variable, and we can indeed ping that. Okay, so we've made a lazyadmin folder. So first things first, let's go and do an nmap scan like we usually do. So -vv, so we can see the output, aggressive or all, try and get as much information as we can. We know that the host is already up, so we can skip host discovery, and we're just going to output that into a nmap.txt. Okay, so first I can see SSH. Next, we've got port 80, which means that there is a web server, unless something else is running on port 80. I thought if you made an environment variable, it like makes it for everywhere, but I guess it's just for the one shell. Anyway, let's go open up our box in Firefox, and we've got the default Apache page. Not too much here. So taking a quick look at our nmap scan. So again, it's just 22, so we might be able to SSH into it at some point, or that's just for the room creator and we're focusing on something on this web server. So we know that we've got a live web server, so why don't we try and find some hidden directories that are on here. So we can go ahead and use a tool like gobuster. We can search for directories. We can go ahead and use our HTTP, go against our box. We do need a word list. So what I find works quite well is the derb common.txt, and we can go ahead and output that to, let's call it gobuster.txt. Just want to add VV so we can see what's going on just in case. Go ahead and run that. Then we can go ahead and cat out the file, and we can pipe it through grep, and we can see if there's anything that matches the found. 403 meaning not accessible? Forbidden from accessing. So we don't have privileges, but we can go to content. We go ahead and type up our content page directory. So it looks like welcome to SweetRice. Thank you for install SweetRice as your website management system. Okay, this site is building now. Please come late. If you are the webmaster, please go to dashboard general website setting and uncheck checkbox site closed to open your site. More help here. Okay. So it looks like a development landing page. So from this CMS, so content management system. So if we just look up SweetRice CMS, I can already see some exploits. So we'll come back to that. But it looks like we've got an actual program for website management. So it's a real thing. So I'm guessing that they've built it in this directory. So we go and run that again. We've got our index.html that we saw earlier. I'm interested, since our CMS is built in this directory, is it possible that we can run another gobuster on this directory and we can find other important information? Okay, so that first one's finished. Let's run this again. Instead of that root directory, let's go to the content, and we'll also just save it out as a different file. So while that scan is running, can we find anything? We have content.js, so there is a JS directory. Maybe if we go to the network and we reload, can we see anything else? Content SweetRice.js. I'm just gonna run this again. Just put in that last /. See my issue? Content. Pro tip. Spelling. Okay, now we're actually finding something. So we've got an underscore themes. Okay, so this looks like the building blocks for this CMS. I can see like forms, headers, main, sidebars. This is actually, so it's built in PHP also. So we might need to use like something like a PHP reverse shell to get access. Okay, so we've also found as and attachment. So let's go. All right, so as seems to be a login page, and attachment seems to be empty. Perhaps we can upload something there and get access to it. All right, let's just try some like admin, admin password. Okay, so no luck there. So if we run more founds as our scan's going on, we can see we've got an images directory. Okay, so images. We have this ink. Ooh. Okay, so we have a lot more in here. So this looks like even more building blocks for this. We have a DB, so maybe that's a database. We have a MySQL backup. Ooh, that could be very useful for us. We have a latest.txt, 151. I think that's the version number. So if we go over to our exploit DB and we look at our options here, we see that 151 again. So it's definitely our version number. We've got a lot of things. Backup disclosure, which I already had a little peek at, meaning that we can access all MySQL backup and download from this directory, which we're already looking in. So let's start with that. I'm just gonna go copy link and let's go ahead and wget that. And this SQL is a PHP script, but it's written in ASCII text. So we can just go ahead and we can cat that out. SQL is the database language. So this has got tables like rows and that sort of thing making up the database. So I can see attachment, categories, comments. So these are the different, I assume, tables in the database for these different points of data. So what we're looking for is some sort of user information. Is plugins, item data, links, options, and then we got a big old bunch of text. And we've got some HTML. Welcome to Sweet Rice. And we can see description, we can see admin, manager, password, and we can see what looks like to be a hash. So I think we're in the right area. So, I mean, good security in the sense that passwords are being stored as hashes. So that's a good thing, but bad security that they're running a unpatched version of their CMS that we can download and get access to this hash. So we can see here, admin is manager. So that's going to be our user, and then password. So I don't know, is this some sort of like, have they stored this somewhere in the table? Like, I don't really know SQL, but anyway, let's go take some notes of manager and go take this, copy that. Let's go and echo this hash and we'll just put it into a hash file. Make sure that that's worked. So we can go ahead and run something like hashcat against this hash file to try and crack it. So I mean, hashcat might be able to identify it for us. So it might be MD4, might be MD5. It's got a lot of MD5 recommendations. There's also hash identifier, and we can go ahead and run that against the hash. I didn't find a hash, so I might just paste it in. Do that one more time. So it confirms that it's possibly MD5, maybe MD4. So hashcat said MD5, this is saying MD5 first. So we'll try this, but otherwise we can come back and try MD4. So if we look up the man page, we'll find that we need to use the -M for the mode. So MD5, just correct, they have all numbers for the different hash algorithms. So 0 is for MD5. That's what we're after. We want to put it in -A0. I can't remember. I think that's just like dictionary types. Dictionary attack, I think. Just attack. I think that's what it is. We'll just output the context to a cracked.txt. User share word lists. And then we'll just go for the rocku.txt. But I should probably actually use hashcat. Awesome, so that found it. We can go ahead and cat out our cracked.txt and we can go see that hash in plain text. So let's go back to that login page that we had, manager, password 123, and we're in, sort of. We've got web access, but we need terminal access from here. So let's go take a sneaky back look at our exploits. And we know that we're running 151, so we know that these are all going to work. So the one that's sticking out to me, PHP Code Execution. So it says here, by adding in the add section, Sweet Rice will allow admin to add PHP code files in add files, blah, blah, blah. So we can use this exploit. We'll need to change localhost, and it looks like something funky is happening with our text area. And then we can navigate to inc adds PHP of whatever we've just created. So it looks like this value of hacked is what gives it its title. Okay, let's copy that. Let's just make a directory of exploit, cd in there, and let's just make a txt and throw this in. And so we need to change the local host. and that's going to be of the IP of our target. So also it's inside that content directory. So we need to make sure we're in content, but then it's in sweet rice. I actually think it needs to replace that sweet rice. So maybe it's default sweet rice and they've changed it to content. So we're going to change this to hello, you've been hacked. And then this text area should not have this funky, because this is just HTML. So then we navigate to this, which I mean, I don't need to put this in here, but I'm just going to do it. So content inc ads, and then this is going to be hello. Okay, so I'm going to copy this, and then we're just going to save this off. Control X, Y, enter. So if we go look at ads and then paste in our code here, give it a name, go done. That adds it in for us. To see if it's actually worked, we need to go to this and we should see our page, which we don't. So maybe we need to actually open this up to run it. So why don't we just run exploit as a HTML file and then run that in Firefox. I need to remove the first one perhaps. Let's try that again because it looks like it's something. So it's definitely added it. All right. I'm not 100% sure if that's working, but I'm just gonna trust in the process. Let's go get a PHP reverse shell. So good old pen test monkey. We'll go copy all of this and we'll paste it in between our PHP. So we'll get rid of that and paste it in here. Might need to fix it up a little bit, but I'm not going to touch anything just yet. Yeah, we've just got to get rid of those PHP opening closing tags. So we've only got the right one. Okay, so then all we need to change is our IP. So since this is going to be a reverse, we want it to talk back to our machine. So if we go around get our IP by running fconfig, then we can go ahead and paste that in here and we can select any port. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is fine. Okay, so that's our payload setup. So let's just go get a listener on 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's ready to go. And then we can go ahead and run that exploit again. This time by going to the URL, we should have a shell. Awesome. Okay, so we've got shell access. So let's have a quick look around. We've got an IT user. So if we go over into IT guy and list out everything in here, we've got a MySQL login.txt, a user.txt. What's this MySQL login? Rice random pass. Yeah, interesting. We've already got what we needed from SQL. Plus, I don't know how to use SQL, so but rice random pass, that I think that is like the username password to log in, so that's interesting. We have this backup.pl that's owned by root, but everyone can execute, so that's super sus. But then there's this user.txt, which is our first flag. So we can go ahead and pop that in. So now it's just about escalating our root privileges. We could try and copy over linps, we could try and do like a lot of things, but to keep it simple, if we go ahead and run sudo-l, we can see here we've got this command that we don't need a password to run sudo. So we can use Perl against this file that we're looking at. So let's go ahead and look at this backup.pl, which runs a Perl command system sh. So it runs this copy.sh. So what the hell is this copy shell script? So this is a funky little reverse shell going out to somebody. So what we need to do is hijack this. So I'm going to copy this. We're going to actually echo this, but since I don't have a nice shell, I'm just going to do it in the command line. So we can make changes to this copy. So this is what's crazy. Like, let me just backspace this and confirm that I can make changes. So if we just go ls, etc., etc. So we've got full read write execute to this file. What did I just do? I've lost my shell. Okay, 1 second. Okay, we've got shell again. So like I was saying, we've got read write executability on this copy, which just goes ahead and runs this, which is a reverse shell. So let's echo this reverse shell, but let's update it with our details. So again, ifconfig. So we can put this on, well, We can't do 1, 2, 3, 4. So why not 4, 3, 2, 1 and just repeat the process. So before we go ahead and do that, we want to run a listener, a netcat listener on 4, 3, 2, 1 for any income traffic that's coming in. So this should echo this file, and we're going to redirect that into etc copy.sh like so. So echo out this new payload, put it into this. So remember from this sudo -l that we can go ahead and run this one command, which go ahead and executes that copy.sh, but we need to do it with sudo. So when we run it with sudo and we go back and we didn't get access, we don't have root. What did I do wrong? We did get a connection from our remote access. Okay, trying it again, and now it's worked. Okay, I'm not sure. Can you tell me what I did wrong? I'm not sure what I did wrong. Something went wrong when I did it the first time. Anyway, I started up the shell again, and I ran it again. So it's sudo and the only command that we can run, and then that gives us root privileges once we have our netcat listening. So we can look in root, and we can go ahead and look in the root.txt, and there is our root flag. Paste that in and we win. That was lazyadmin from tryhackme. I hope you enjoyed the room. It was a lot of fun going through. I think I've still got a long way to go with these sort of red teaming rooms. Full disclosure, this is the second time I've gone through this room, and I definitely had to watch John Hammond's video on how to get through the last couple of sections. I've spent hours on this box going through, getting linps over, like through ncat, so I actually learned a lot, but all the paths that I went down were not the right direction, so hence why now I can do this video for you and with you, and I can do it a little bit faster, but please don't think that I have any idea what I'm doing, because it's just so much practice to get a hang of this. I'm finding the more I do blue team stuff, this is red team, meaning like attacking and breaking into the boxes. I'm finding red teaming like even more difficult, like the reverse shells and like gaining connection. Like it's really hard, but it's so fun. Like getting into this box, even though I cheated and even though I got help, man, it's still very rewarding to try and break through and get into it. Okay, so again, thank you very much for sticking through and getting all the way to the end of this video. I do really appreciate you for watching all the way. Please like this video, and if you can subscribe, if you're not, that would be very much appreciated. We are on the way to 1,000 subscribers, and that's a bit of a goal for me, so I appreciate you being on the journey with me. If you've got anything else, any feedback or anything, please let me know. I'd like to see you in the next video, so I will catch you then. I'll let YouTube recommend something, so stick around and you can go ahead and watch that video. Otherwise, there'll be a playlist on the screen too, and yeah, hang around and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.